Now, Cover Killer Nation, I know that I've talked about a lot of new releases lately, and today's no different. Yeah, there's another one that has just been released that is, well, something that's quite surprising. This is a band that I didn't even know of until, well, about a week ago, and I actually have to thank a couple of my fans for exposing me. And the name of the band is just Fen, F-E-N, yeah. Seems like it would be something really easy. You could put Fen into just about anything and get something completely different. But that's the name of the band in this particular case. And the name of the album that we're talking about today is their 2011 album entitled EPOCH. Now, EPOCH is an album that reminds me of a lot of contemporaries. This is a band that is very well versed in a lot of modern metal. However, if I were to put any sort of slab as to where they belong, it would be, well, a very long genre. Black atmospheric post-metal. Yeah, let that swirl around your head a little bit. If I were to think of any bands that would sort of size up a little bit, well, take a little bit of Alcé, take a little bit of Agalloch, take a little bit of Opeth, just to name a few, put them together in a nice giant pot, put a little bit more of a black metal twist on it, and you have the elegance, the beauty, but the raw brutality of exactly what Fen is able to accomplish. Now, this is also an album that is kind of like Odds and Evens. Remember whenever you played Odds and Evens whenever you were a kid? Well, this is kind of like that. Now, this is not to say that one particular set is better than the other. However, there is something that I definitely noticed. Those that have the even numbers seem to have a little bit more of a beauty to them, something that's a little bit more of an elegant twist along with the raw brutality than the ones that are odds. The odd numbers seem to have a little bit more in the way of the rawness and a little bit less focus on the beautiful aspects. So, what I mean is that the even numbers, Ghosts of the Flood, the Gibbet Elms, Half-Light Eternal, and Ashbringer definitely have a little bit more of a softer edge, to the point where some of it actually reaches the romantic beauty. Of course, if your idea of romance is black metal and you're a girl, you should probably hit me up. However, one of the things that definitely gets me really excited about this particular group, and one of the things that really shines on this album a considerable amount, is once again the epic. Epics oftentimes on albums can have one of two faces. The first face is, of course, it can be something that's very well done, where it has a lot of different undulations, a lot of atmosphere changes, you know, complete changes in tempo, and a lot of experimentation. Or on the other side, it's something that could just go on for way too long, not do anything or not do enough in order to really capture your attention, and be something that's very easy to skip. Now, while a lot of these songs are quite lengthy, only one exceeds 10 minutes, and that is Carrier of Echoes, which is track number 5. And this definitely fits the very first descriptor that I mentioned about epics. And this particular song is one that starts off with that raw brutality and actually fuses in that eloquent bliss that I was talking about, that is so prevalent on the even number tracks that you'd almost think that it was one of them, and then is able to reestablish itself as a little bit more of a brutal element of both. And that's something that makes this song very easy to listen to, and the 10 minutes moves by very quickly. And it's another reason why it brings back a lot of memories of both Agalloch and Opeth, considering both bands are able to put out considerable epics that definitely exceed the 10-minute mark, and in some cases push the 20-minute mark, as is the case with Black Rose Immortal, where it actually exceeds it by Opeth, and it still keeps you engaged and ready to listen to more. This is an 8-track affair in total. It spans a little bit longer than an hour. It's 64 minutes and 55 seconds long, and I gotta say, for it being my very first fan experience, I'm pretty proud of it. This is an album that I'm definitely happy that some of you guys out there in Cover Killer Nation exposed me to. Instead of me exposing you to the new stuff, it was actually the reverse this time. And it was a really positive experience. And as far as this is concerned for the year 2011, well, wow, that's all I can say. This is definitely going to be one that's hard to top in this current crop. It's only been about a month and a half, and I gotta say, whenever I think about the best releases of this year, Fen's gonna have to be pretty close to the top. This is an album that definitely has enough variance and consistency that really gives you a lot to look forward to whenever you listen to it each and every time. And now that I've listened to it a few times, I'm still discovering a couple of new things that maybe I missed the first time around. And that's something that definitely adds to the replay value of a certain CD, and Epic definitely has that. So, Fen's probably a new name to a lot of you guys, just as it was for me. And all I gotta say is that, well, you should definitely give it a shot. I know that I definitely wanted to give it a shot after hearing a one-song sample posted in a blog TV. So, I think you guys should definitely check this out as well. Once again, the name of the band is Fen, F-E-N, and the name of the album is EPOCH, E-P-O-C-H. Just like the name of the ship in Chrono Trigger. Yeah, see if you can get that reference out of your head.